Right, how's it going, YouTube? It's just going to be a shortish video. I don't know if you if you heard me mention in my last video, I had nitrite problems. I've had them for a while now. Couldn't manage them, couldn't get it to drop, reduce the feed, everything. Nothing was happening. So yeah, my mate sent me up a tub of detox, and I added it at the recommended dose. Few doses. I didn't really work, not straight away anyway. And I think if you've got issues, they say to add it 2 tablespoons per 1,000 gallons every 2 hours or something like that. I didn't really want to be doing that, so what I have been doing is putting in the recommended dose once a day. I've been doing that for about 5 days now, and yeah, it's starting to drop now, so I'm actually able to feed what I wanted to now. Fish are acting so much better as well. Giving them some fresh mussels again. I'll try and get these on camera feeding on it. Just chuck them over there. But yeah, they're feeding like they should now for the temperatures we're at, which is a good thing. They weren't quite acting right before, let's say. I mean, they were still feeding, still wanting the food, but they wasn't acting right for the temps we was at, like. So yeah, if you're having issues yourself, which a lot of people am, yeah, try that pond detox formula. Obviously you can umming and ahhing a lot, I know. You can do it at the recommended dose every 2 hours until your water quality is back to what it should be, but I can't remember where I read that, like, but I wouldn't be doing that personally, unless I had some, like, I don't know, something spilling my pond or something and I need to strip it out, like, you know what I mean. But like I said, I've been doing it once a day for about 5 days now, and everything's all coming back under control. So yeah, I'm chuffed with that, to be honest. Pond's still a little bit cloudy, but it don't last long. Pardon me. Yeah, it's not like you're putting a clay in that clouds your pond up for a couple of days, few hours, and the cloudiness is gone. It's literally like spilling a cup of tea in your pond, really. That's all it is. So yeah, well, they've nailed them. I might give them a bit of floating growth as well. I was feeding floating growth and floating colour, but yeah, I'm doing a lot of umming and erring today. Yeah, the colour always bloody brings out secondary. Always brings out, if it's there, if it's going to come up, the colour just bloody enhances it. I've got a couple of cacos in here that have thrown up secondary, which is annoying. So yeah, I'll wait till the end of the season when it's cooled down, sedate them, and I'll try and aid getting rid of it, I suppose. Which really, it's not ideal, is it? I've had the odd shimmy pop up as well. Oh, I'll tell you what's gutted me though, on one of the cacos, it's got a little bit of secondary come up, and now it's got black pigment, not a shimmy, like actual black pigment come up. So yeah, that's that bloody that's that up the wall, or whatever you want to call it. And it's got a couple of shimmies, so I'll scrape the shimmies off. I don't think there's much I can do about underlying sumi coming through, but yeah, what can you do? But yeah, like I say, they're all acting a lot better now. I did have a little bit of mucus pop up on a few of them, whether it was a defence mechanism against a nitrite or whatnot, I don't know. Obviously you can salt, you can salt to lessen the toxicity of the nitrite, just till you can get on top of things, like. But I shouldn't have had any. I still don't know the cause of it. I mean, these filters have been up and running now since the beginning of last summer, and they've had their booster bacteria in the spring, etc, etc. It's not like I just started dumping loads of food in one day randomly. I just built it up, as you do, through the tail end of spring and into summer, and then just all of a sudden I noticed a few fish weren't right. So as you do, first port of call, water tests. Everything else was sound except for the nitrite, and I've heard about a lot of people having issues with nitrite this season. So I bought bottles of bacteria, doing big purges, water changes. I even cut the food down a bit. I just couldn't get it under control until I started using this. It might be a little bit early to say I've solved the problem. Like I say, I've only been doing it 5 days, but I have managed to up the food back up to growth levels. I'm not just maintaining now, I'm actually above what I need to maintain them. So yeah, luckily I haven't lost any body. Well, I've lost a fraction of body on the big chag and the smaller Karashigoi out of the two, the Ginrin one, but I can gain that back in no time. So yeah, like I say, now I'm just back on to pure growth. There's a couple of flecks of colour left in the bottom of this tub, so there might be the odd dark pellet in there, but yeah, I'm on pure growth now, and that'll do till the water temperatures cool off, and then I'll get back on the balance, although there is sinking balance in the feeder. Do feed that, like, so I think next year I might get a bag of sinking colour as well, because they do love the sinking. Feel much more confident feeding on the sinking, I think. Where's my Polaroids? See if this makes any difference. I really need to invest in another Polaroid lens. The one I had last year, that really cheap one, they use it for privacy screens on phones and laptops and that. You can get them off eBay. Just type in polarized film or polarizing film, whatever. You can get a little section of it, small section like that, for about £1.50, and it just sticks perfectly over your camera, but it's got scuffed up over the year and it's all manky and whatnot now. So but yeah, happy days. It seems to be, well, it's going in the right direction. Like I say, I've upped the food back to growth levels, and rather than it climbing back up, it's dropping down like half a point every day. So yeah, so I'm happy with that. Pond is at a good temp now, and they were absolutely smashing the food again. They've already had all sorts today. This morning had some mealworms, obviously. I mean, you don't need to be feeding stuff like that when you're feeding sake. It's all in the food, literally. But they've had a couple of oranges, some mealworms. Obviously you've just seen them have their mussels. I like to feed them mussels at least once a week. Bit of fresh food, Garlic's another good one, because I don't know if any of you ever feed garlic, but after you've been feeding it for a while, it almost seems to get into the mucus of the fish. You can smell it on them, and like when you're going, like, lift the lid of your moving bed or whatever filter you've got, you can almost smell the garlic coming out of the filter. And obviously they do it like NT Labs do a garlic, though they aqua sauce. Is it aqua sauce? Yeah, aqua sauce garlic, all seasoned with garlic or whatever. So you know, it's not like a new thing or anything. Obviously, it is an actual thing that they do for koi food, and yeah, it's beneficial to us, beneficial to the fish, And yeah, I'll just chop up fresh garlic, I do, and chuck it in. You know, I leave it in with your pellets. My mate, he uses that lazy garlic. He soaks a load of his pellets in the lazy garlic, because you've got the chunks and liquid in that, yeah. So it actually permeates into the food. I prefer the fresh, because it's like not astringent. I don't know what the word for it is, but like, you know, if you try and chew a piece of raw garlic, you know about it, don't you? It's not so much spicy or peppery. I don't know the word, like, but yeah, I don't think the flukes like it anyway, and I doubt any of the other parasites like it. So. But I must say, I reckon this year I've had more growth than I've ever had in previous years. I'm almost getting a hang of this koi malarkey, I reckon. Oh, blimey. But yeah, the two kakus that were on screen then, yeah, they've definitely grown. And even these new two that I had from the BKKS, they're growing like stink already. And I've only had them like, what, a couple of weeks? How long's it been since since the national? It's not been long. Definitely filled out. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but they're getting a little bit of body on them already. That kaka, I love that to bits. Unfortunately, that's the one that's had the bit of pigment come up and a couple of shimmies. But yeah, I mean, now at the minute I could just keep feeding these and feeding them and feeding them, and yeah, they'd eat all day if I let them. Yeah, Benny's really strong on every fish, on all my Gosanki, let's say. Sorry. Well, those that started with good Benny. So yeah, chuffed a bit. Now I'm waffling just to try to fill the video with a bit of talking. Probably am. Plants are, I'll tell you what though, the good thing about having nitrite and nitrate in the water is, if I just turn you around, the pond plants are doing great, like, gone really dark green. Marsh marigolds putting a flower up. Water mint always goes mental anyway, but yeah. So I've swapped them round. That one was over here, but this side of the pond gets more sun, so I've swapped them round, see if I can get a bit more growth out of this one. I say then, whoa, easy now. Look at you, Nora. Yeah, there's one in there called orange peel plant as well. That bit down there at the bottom. But it must be a slower grower than the other two because it's just getting dwarfed by them. I've got another 2 baskets, so I might get them other baskets out, get a few more pond plants in. You can't go wrong with a load of pond plants, can you? It's an extra part of your filter. Obviously those with bog filters all know. Blimey, I don't know if anybody's watching that's been with me for years. Like, you remember this side of the pond? I used to have massive reeds everywhere, all up here. I had a plant called bog bean, which I absolutely adored because it growed. I had a pot on the bottom. It grew up to the surface and then it trails across the top of the surface. Looked lovely. I loved that plant. And I must say I do miss me lilies, but since I've got slightly bigger fish, these would just absolutely destroy them lilies now. Hats off to those who keep lilies in the pond. I seem to remember Gifster used to have some really, really nice lilies, and they used to grow like mad in his pond. But I know there's things you can do, put a bit of egg crate over the top or big cobbles and that, but anytime I've had lilies in here in the last year or so, as soon as I get any new growth come up out of the either egg crate or the cobbles or whatever you're defending them with, these like just rip them to bits. So every morning I'll come in and there's big chunks of water mint everywhere. It's all in the sun. Yeah, anything they can get hold of they'll rip, won't they? But yeah, that Sankey's healed up nice. And if you remember a couple of months ago, it had a couple of months ago, it had a few raised scales pop up on the side. So I was doing, I think it was Frank, he went to Andrew Daly's once and he got the little makeup brush or paint brush and he was getting it under the scales with the tamidine and whatnot. I was doing all that, like, did help, but the thing that really helped in the end was the salt, because it reduced the swelling, which was the thing that was pushing the scales out, like. So yeah, that's what did the trick in the end. So yeah, chuffed to bits. And I must say, I am loving my new fish that I've had this season. I had the Super Monster, I've had these 2 kakus that have filled out nicely, 2 karashigoi I've had, and I had the, is it the Red Tiger kahaku, which that's the one who's done a load of secondary. So yeah, I'm going to have to put a bit of work in on that. But yeah, I'm actually chuffed with my fish this year. I think I've got maybe 1 or 2 that I'll probably move on and replace next season now. I won't be doing nothing now. Oh, my neighbour's got the router out. Don't know what he's doing. What are we up to? 13 minutes. Sitting here, I just keep feeding him, and then I'm moaning about nitrite. Now, to be honest, I've only really been upping the feed the last 3 days, and I wouldn't have been feeding like this if they weren't if they weren't smashing it, and 2 if the nitrite wasn't dropping. So yeah, look at that karashigoi though. Love that fish. Look at the head on it, man. Proper chubby cheeks on it as well. Well, that's the last bit now. I'm getting carried away because I'm looking at my screen. I just keep throwing food in here. I'm forgetting that I've just thrown a load of mussels in, and I keep binning the sake in there. Although I do need to get rid of it. I don't know what I've got left now. I can't remember how many sacks I bought this year. I've got a bit of colour left, like I say. I've stopped on the colour now because, you know, I can't be bothered with dealing with loads of secondary, and I don't want these 2 new smaller kaku to start throwing up loads of secondary. So yeah, I've knocked that on the head a bit. I'm trying to get through my growth. I'm still on the bit from last year actually. I'm still on the bit I had from Adam Boyer last year. So like I say, I've kept a good I've got now, let's think, about 10 kilos of, no it wouldn't be 10 kilos because they're 15 kilo bags. I had half a bag, so 7.5 kilos of floating balance left for the colder months. And I've got a little bit of Shogun for when it's really cold, although I might come away from that because I'm not really the biggest fan of wheat germ. Tend to make them fat, I think. You know, it's not like they've got good bodies off it, they just go all fat and horrible like, so yeah. Well, I'm waffling on now. I think I'll leave it there. I'll try and get a proper video out for you next week, like. Hang on, let's flip the camera. See my ugly mush. And yes, hang on, I'm doing the wrong thing here. So yeah, I've put my bivvy back up because you know what the weather's been like. It's been absolutely terrible. And then as soon as I put this up, hang on, it's a bit cloudy now, but it's been a lovely day. Like, yeah, I'm not taking it down because if I take this down, it's just going to get rainy again, ain't it? Like, so yeah, I find it more comfortable sat in here anyway. Yeah, cushy. Fit me 2 seats in here, like. There's only ever really 2 of us sat here, either me and Gummy or me and the missus or whatever, like. So yeah, happy days. Right, that's enough waffling on now. I'm gonna sit here and enjoy these fish, and obviously no editing, one take video. So I'll just whack this up. Probably no thumbnail, not much of an explanation needed, is there? So yeah, as always people, massive thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you soon. Cheers guys.